The yard was busy. The Fat Controller had sent several of his bigger engines to the works to get checkups and minor overhauls, which in turn made much more work for the smaller engines. So much so that he decided to send for a new engine to help with the shunting. On the day the engine was to arrive, everyone waited in the yard with anticipation. "I hope he's hard working," said Duck, "and you know how I have my standards." "I hope so too," said Thomas. "I just hope he's not a—" But he had spoken too soon. In came a small tank engine who was painted blue with red stripes. "Well, hello everyone, my name's Chase, and I'm glad to finally be on Sodor." "Well, we're glad you're here too," said Duck. "I see you're in L class, so I doubt you know how to work the Great Western Way." "Probably not," replied Chase. "I was shipped off to America right after I was built, and I've just recently came back here, so I'm still learning the British Railroad ways." "I see," said Duck grimly. "But hopefully I can stay here for a while," said Chase. "Maybe even long enough to celebrate the 4th of July." "Why would we celebrate that?" asked Percy. Then Hank chimed in. "It's a holiday in the States," he said, "but I don't think he knows it's not celebrated here." Just then the Fat Controller arrived and introduced himself to Chase. "Now, Thomas," he said, "you are to take Chase to the grain company and show him how to work there. Then you are both to take a truck of grain to Alsborough Harbor and shunt them onto 2 goods trains. Understood?" "Yes, sir," answered Thomas, "but why me?" "You are the only engine here that doesn't have any other jobs," answered the Fat Controller. "So move along now, no dawdling." "Yes, sir," said Thomas reluctantly as he left the yard with Chase following close behind him. During the entire journey, Chase talked the whole way there. "Doesn't he know how to keep a conversation short?" Thomas thought to himself. Finally, they arrived at the grain company. Thomas then demonstrated how pushing one of the sanitized trucks under the hopper trips a lever that causes the grain to fall out and into the car. "Oh, that looks easy," remarked Chase. "It is once you've gotten the hang of it," said Thomas. "But you must know that when you push the truck under the hopper—" "Oh, I know what to do," interrupted Chase. "You think I wasn't watching? It's not like this is my first ever job." "All right then," sighed Thomas, and he chuffed away. Chase then collected a truck and carefully shunted it under the hopper. He felt the truck bump the lever, but nothing happened. He tried again, but still nothing happened. He then tried another time, and the time after that, and the time after that, but none of the times worked. He began to get frustrated. Meanwhile, Thomas had arrived at the harbor and shunted his truck onto the back of a train. He then ran off to do some shunting. Later, Thomas pushed some trucks into a siding when the harbor master showed up and spoke to Thomas's driver. "There's a goods train waiting to depart," he said, "but it still needs a car of grain, and the engine that was supposed to deliver it never showed up. Do you know what could have happened?" "No," said Thomas's driver, "but we'll find out." So Thomas traveled all the way back to the grain company and was surprised to find Chase still there. "Why are you still here?" questioned Thomas. "You're late for your delivery." "I've given up," answered Chase. "I spent about 30 minutes trying to get this thing to work, doing exactly like how you showed me, and it's gotten me nowhere." "Well, I tried to tell you that you needed to bump the lever over twice," said Thomas. "Have you tried that?" "No," replied Chase indignantly. "So you're telling me that I've spent all this time and I just haven't been bumping it hard enough?" "Well, not exactly." But Chase had already started rolling towards the hopper, going too fast. He pushed the truck in too far and broke off the lever. He was standing directly under the hopper when the grain started to pour. And since the lever had broken off, there was no way of stopping it. The grain poured, and poured, and poured, until there was no more left in the hopper. His crew had jumped clear, but the little engine was buried to his footplate. Not too soon after, had the Fat Controller arrived, along with the owners of the grain company, just as Thomas was pulling Chase out of his predicament. So much grain had gone down Chase's funnel that he couldn't even move. "Just look at all this grain you've wasted," said the Fat Controller to Chase. "All because you couldn't follow a simple direction. And not only will the train that's waiting be late, it will also be missing a car of grain, too." "I have an idea," piped up Thomas. "Since Chase has all this grain piled up in his cab, why don't we shunt him onto the train?" Thought the Fat Controller. "You know what, Thomas? I think you're onto something there. Go back down to the harbor and tell them that I approved it." "Right away, sir," said Thomas as he smugly chuffed away with Chase regretting his overconfidence.